and Sam Stewart, and all of these athletes, well-seasoned competitors.
And the team on the left, they are in third place overall, 264 total points. The number 2.5 men, they are tied for 6th place right now at 231.
A couple of keys to the event here, as we see a lot of athletes employ in the earlier heats. For the double kettlebell, shoulder to overhead, using more of a kettlebell swing, doing that one fluid motion up overhead without having to deposit the shoulders for a clean and jerk. So much faster, so much more efficient. Timing's everything. We saw Jamie talk just a second ago about having to go over the box to tag your teammates in. So well-timed transitions at the right points between movements could be huge. We saw the tractor employ that earlier en route to a heat win.
We just saw the number 2.5 men, Sam Stewart, P.D. Savage, and Mickey Smith on that team. 150 pounds on the D-ball. And they'll move towards the finish line every 10 reps.
I love seeing all these athletes tap and go this 150-pound sandbag. It's not too many years ago, Sean, we saw this show up at regionals in the finale. And the first time we saw just one athlete, I think it was George Sanchez, do it to try and get his game spot, everyone went, whoa, that's different. We're used to just throwing it up over the shoulder and kind of letting it go. And pretty soon, you know, a couple years later, everybody's doing this. Everybody's manhandling this 150-pound bag, and it just shows the evolution and the continued improvement from competitors across the field.
Street Horner for the Smith Bros. Sam Dancer looking on. You saw Ioannis Papadopoulos for the TWO.5 men earlier.
See Street Horner there, a late sub in for two of the Smith brothers, doing an admirable job alongside Sam Dancer. Found out a few days ago that they're gonna have to strap it up and come compete.
The training culture in lane 12 and Sam Sorelaman in lane number 3. They are on to the burpee box jump overs, and also the French GoWatt team in lane 13, closest to the camera. They are there as well. Chandler Smith for the boys, your overall leaders. His team now onto the burpee box jump overs.
Training culture is only 9 points back of Mayhem in Paradise, so they can definitely punch up into the top 10, get into that top heat for all of Saturday. That's exactly what you want. You want to be competing against the best in the top heat throughout the entirety of the weekend.
I talked to Noah Olson earlier today, and he said this is one event where they thought they would be able to do really well because it's just moving fast and putting your head down and doing grunt work. And Chandler Smith, we know how fast he is on burpees. He's in lane number 8. Hoping to keep his team in the overall lead. They have 297 points. They have a 2nd and 2 wins.
And Noah Olson's no slouch at burpees too. I mean, Chandler has the wrestling background. If you know anything about wrestling, a burpee is basically something you do every single time you sprawl for wrestling practice. But Noah Olson as well, one of the things he's been able to really flex on is his engine and some of these body weight movements over the course of his career.
Also in lane number 7, that's Matt DeLugos from the Thunder from Down Under, the only American on that team. He joins Con Porter and James Newberry. And here comes Con Porter.
See a no rep from Noah Olson. That means he forgot to transition the box. You have to move the box after the halfway point. Just one of the little nuances of competing on the floor you have to pay attention to.
Lane 3 is Sam Sorelaman. That team currently tied for 6th with the number 2.5 men with 231 points. Sam Sorelaman coming off their best performance of the competition of 4th place in event number 3.
And they were one of the teams that really came on strong towards the back half of that barbell movement. They really shone on the 315 barbell. So curious if they're going to, lay low, be in the 2nd, 3rd spot for this heat and really let it rip on the double kettlebells.
Rich Froning is on to the burpee box jump overs for his team. And as you heard Tommy mention, Mayhem in Paradise, they currently sit in 10th place overall. They had a 17th in event 3 and then a 20th, 17th in event 2 and a 20th in event 3 as Sam Sorelaman are on to the legless rope climbs for the first time. Ooh, that's Dennis Samsonov
doing 3 in a row. You notice nobody is with him on the rig, so he's just adding to that lead for Sam Sorelaman.
Here comes Tyler Eggeman. Now Noah Olson, you can see him in the bottom left, working his way up the rope. As the boys have moved into second place here, they are on the legless rope climbs. Matt DeLugos now just jumping up to the rope. So Thunder from Down Under, they currently sit in third, but it is close behind Sam Sorella-Man on the right. Tyler Eggeman closing out his rope climbs, and he's going to tag in Philip Muscarella. Noah Olson working his way back to the finish line. Here comes Travis Mayer. Ten legless rope climbs after this is 10 regular rope climbs, then back down the floor.
And Sam Sorella-Man's about to finish up. They just went 3-3-4 for their 10 legless rope climbs. No problem with that high-skilled gymnastics movement.
Dennis Samsonoff back on the rope. Final legless rope climb for them. Chandler Smith on the left as the boys remain in second place in this heat. The time to beat belongs to the tractor, 12 minutes, 28 seconds.
Looks like I may have been mistaken. It looks maybe they went 3-3-3-1, but still putting a good amount of distance between them and the boys.
Dennis Samsonoff just continues to bounce right back up onto the rope, keeping Sam Sorella-Man in the front for now in this heat. Once again, they are tied for sixth place overall with 231 points. They are only 33 points out of a spot inside the top three, and all the teams that they are chasing are behind them right now.
Yeah, they're only 15 points back of Team Hercules. That's definitely doable in one event.
Tyler Eggeman on the right side of your screen. On his rope climbs, they have 4 remaining to Sam Sorella-Man. This James Newbury you just saw coming to the picture in the box on the left. He's right next to Noah Olson. So these rope climbs are getting done extremely fast right now as we are approaching the 7-minute mark. So the halfway point of this event, 14-minute time cap here. Final event that the teams will face here on day number 2.
I mean, the halfway point is the 10 legless rope climbs, and at the halfway mark, time-wise, we have a ton of teams already to the traditional rope climbs. And remember, the back half of this event is going to go much faster than the front. You don't have the burpee added to the box jump overs. The double kettlebell overhead is a much faster movement than the sandbag clean.
Philip Muscarella, bottom right, he's onto the box jump overs for Sam Sorella-Man as they are now opening up a bit of a lead on the boys. And Noah Olson has just 1 rope climb remaining. Now here's Chandler Smith on his box jump overs. They stay in second place behind Sam Sorella-Man as Dennis Samsonoff, bottom left of your screen, is on the box jump overs for his team. Thunder from Down Under right next to the boys. That's Matt DeLugos and Chandler Smith squaring off. After 25 repetitions, they will pull the box back towards the starting line. It's Tyler Eggeman for Sam Sorella-Man. They are on the back half now of these 50 box jump overs, 36 inches on that box. Here comes Philip Muscarella as Chandler Smith tags in Noah Olson in the background there. As the boys trying to catch Sam Sorella-Man here in this third and final heat of event number 4. 12:28, once again, the time to beat from the tractor. They did that in heat number 2.
And honestly, if I'm the boys right now, they have a decent enough cushion ahead of Sam Sorella-Man. They don't necessarily need to expend some extra energy to try and catch them if they're a little bit too far out of reach. You're right next to Thunder from Down Under in the lane next to you. So keep your eye on the team that's closest to you chasing right now. Make sure you stay ahead of them.
Thunder from Down Under, second place overall, 276 points. 21 points back of the boys for the lead. They are in the background as Tyler Eggeman is on to the kettlebell hang to overhead, 62 pounds each on the kettlebells, as now I believe the boys are almost done. They are now done. with their box jump over. So Chandler Smith getting to work on the kettlebells. These are your top two teams, Samson Relman and the boys. Now the Thunder from Down Under is James Newberry in the middle of your screen, no shirt in the shorts. Picks up the kettlebells. They are on the the final movement, the sixth movement, the 50 double kettlebell hang to overhead. Every 10 reps, they will advance closer to the finish line. There goes Dennis Samsonoff for Samson Relman. They try to hang on to the lead here.
Samson Relman was 10 reps ahead of the boys by the time they actually made it back to the kettlebell swing, double kettlebell to shoulder to overhead. At this point, if I'm the boys, I'm just keeping my eyes right next to me to make sure I stay ahead of Thunder from Down Under.
That's training culture in lane number 12. They're starting to gain some ground as well here on the top two teams. And they may be pushing the boys right now for second place.
Oof, you can see Tyler Eggerman switch over to that double kettlebell clean and jerk. We're getting close to the end of this event. Fatigue starts to pile up. You gotta switch your technique.
There's Philip Muscarella now continuing to work away at those 50 repetitions. He has 4 to go. Samson Relman looking to pick up an event win. A final rep for Muscarella and Samson Relman, and they are in 11:23 and 100 points. And they will be moving up the overall leaderboard. And now to the battle for second place. Training Culture, Thunder from Down Under, and the boys, as Chandler Smith is going to hand off to Noah Olson. Con Porter, as Matt DeLugos is in his face.
Oh, man.
5 to go for the boys. 5 to go for Thunder from Down Under. It's Olson versus Porter for second place in the event. Olson's going to get there. Con Porter will finish in third. What a race between those two. The Training Culture, I believe, came across as well. They are in. That will be big for them.
That finish, Sean.
Training Culture 11th place overall with 186 points. They're only 11 back of this team, Mayhem in Paradise, as Luke Parker now has 5 reps remaining. The Tractor looking like they're going to finish 4th in the event unofficially, courtesy of their time from heat number 2. And now Parker is done. He is in 12:38 for Mayhem in Paradise. Smith Bros are in. Now Hercules on the left side, that's Travis Williams. His team just got across. In lane 6, that's the number 2.5 men. They were in that tie for 6th place with Samson Relman. So Samson Relman looking to move into the top 5 right now.
Yeah, especially, putting some distance. We don't know where Invictus is yet. They have yet to finish. They're still out on the floor. Invictus was in 4th. So it looks like Samson Relman is at least going to move potentially into 4th here. Depends on just how many points they were able to pick up.
Train Like Fight just got in. Now the number 2.5 men is Victor Longsved, is the man on your screen still working. They're one of the only teams on the floor still working. So 20 seconds to go before we hit the time cap. Longsved with his final rep, and they have finished. DSM Performance down in lane 14. They look like they're going to get time capped here.
And that, the 2.5 men version with the written out version, not the number, was actually in 3rd coming into this event, and they were towards the back half of that heat. So Samson Relman could potentially even move up into the top 3.